Okay, in the last video we looked at creating paths and getting the Kodu elements to sort of the Kodu objects, the cycle and the jet to follow those paths as we go around. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at scoring, and this tutorial is taken pretty much straight from the Kodu tutorial that's already available to you. And it looks at what we're going to do is we're going to add a tree, we're going to add some apples, we're going to add the cycle. The cycle is going to drive round and it's going to collect the apples and it's going to keep score. That is pretty much the basics of what we're going to do. This is going to take place over sort of three tutorial videos. So the first thing we do is quickly go to the Kodu, click on, we're going to add a tree, put the tree in the corner. We're going to also add a cycle, and we're also going to add some apples as well. Okay, so to keep score, what we can do is we can program the tree. Now the tree doesn't really do anything, but we can program the tree to keep score, or we can program the Kodu to keep score. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to say that we want the Kodu to face towards, to see an apple, to face towards it and like move towards that apple. Then we're going to say that when it bumps into that apple it's going to eat it. Then we're going to say that once it's eaten the apple it's going to add the score. So the first thing we need to do is right click the Kodu, go to program, and remember we've got the sort of interface here, the line, and we've got when something, do something. So what we're going to say is when bumped plus, we go to objects, apple, so we say when we bumped an apple we're going to eat it. Then we click when we see an apple we're going to move towards it. And then we're going to say when bumped an apple we're going to go to, and then this is where we go to game plus score, and we'll call it red score, red for the red apple, and then we're going to say 1. So the way this reads, and we've kind of put this a little bit out of order. So if I select, I'll go to and move that up to the top. We're going to look at this and we're going to say when we see an apple, what we're going to do is we're going to move towards it. Then when we bump the apple, we're going to eat it. So that's going to get rid of the apple. And also at the same time we're going to say when we bump the apple, we're going to add to the red score 1 point. So when we see an apple, we're going to move towards it. When we bump the apple, we're going to eat it. And when we bump the apple, we're going to add to the red score 1 point. Okay, so I'm going to push the escape key and we're going to run the game. So you'll notice the score is up in the top right hand corner, and the Kodu drives round until it's eaten all of the apples. So we had 7 apples originally, we've now got 7 points, and the score's up there. The next thing we can do is we can, so I'm going to push escape to get back out of this. The next thing we can do is we can say when we get to 5 apples, as soon as we've eaten 5 apples, what we're going to do is we're going to end the game because it's game over. So we're going to select the Kodu, and instead of adding it to the cycle, because so far if we look at the code we've got three items on there. We don't want too many attached to this one. We could add it here, but we can also add it to the tree. The tree's not doing anything, so we can add sort of background code to background objects. So what we're going to say is when scored, click the plus, world score, so it's the red score. We go to compare equals, and we're going to say 5 points. We go to then game, and we can go to end. We can say win. We can say win, or we can say end. End will give us a game over. Win will say congratulations. So we'll say win. So what this reads is, when the red score equals 5 points, we win. When the red score equals 5 points, we win. So push escape to leave, and we'll go to play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get the winner menu. So we hit enter to go back into it, and it restarts. This is just going to do the same thing. So we push exit, escape, and we get back to the edit mode. Now, if we wanted to change this to, instead of win, to game over, we can select a Kodu, right click and program. Oops, sorry, apologies. So escape, it was a tree. So if we right click it, program, and we change this final win, so move across, and we change that from win to end, and push escape and play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get game over. So what we could have is we could have a certain number of lives, and we could set those lives to say be 3 lives. And as soon as we've used up those 3 lives, we end up it's game over. So excuse me. What we could do on this one is we'll look at those in another video actually. So I'll catch you in the next video.